There's been further positive news on the economy today. The latest figures show that the unemployment rate has fallen to its lowest level since 2008. In the quarter to August, it dropped 79,000 to 1.8 million, or 5.4%. Meanwhile, in the year to August, average earnings went up 2.8%, although this was slightly lower than analysts were expecting. Our economics correspondent, Andy Verity, reports.
Searching for the right staff gets harder and harder as unemployment falls. In Northampton, engineering companies are trying to deal with a shortage of people with an increasingly valuable skill, fixing trains. Demand for them is growing, but there's a dwindling pool of people who can do the job.
It is really an aggressive recruitment market right now, and there are some indications where we're having to pay more, certainly for niche engineering top-end skills.
That tighter jobs market gives young people with the right skills more job security than they've had in years.
That the country's crying out for engineers, and I think that it's definitely a good industry to come into, because even if you start somewhere, you can work your way up and you have a good chance of getting a job when you apply, because there's always going to be something that you can go into.
With unemployment at a 7-year low, employers have to pay more to keep even less highly skilled staff, though not everyone's earnings are rising. Have you had a pay rise at all this year? Has your money gone up?
No.
Not at all?
No.
No pay rise at all?
To my knowledge, no.
Why hasn't it gone up?
You tell me.
Not up by much then?
By a bit.
1, 2, 3%?
5% maybe.
It's highly unusual to have prices falling and wages going up by 2.8% on average in real terms. The Bank of England and the City have been convinced that that's only temporary and that firms will have to raise their prices to cover their higher wage bills. But so far that hasn't happened.
At the moment, there are a lot of temporary factors that are keeping a lid on prices. One is the collapse in the oil price, which means energy and fuel costs are kept low. And then, of course, import costs, which are key for a lot of companies in the UK, is very low because of the strong pound.
The rise in earnings was strong, but less than economists expected, and unemployment's going up in the northeast of England and Scotland. That means less pressure than there might have been for an early rise in interest rates. Andy Verity, BBC News.